Well guys, it is a sad day here on the channel, as today's video is going to be the last bike build of the 2025 season. While it is certainly sad that this is the last build of the year, at least we are going out with a bang as we're building up the Ari La Sal in what is currently an unreleased color. Got this silver red theme going on, looking so sick in my opinion. So let's get this thing all unboxed and get this build started. Here is the frame all unwrapped, looking really sick. Super stoked on this colorway. I really like the silver Ari, this deep red, and then this metallic silverish color in the back. I think it looks really sharp. And to tie in some of those colors, here's a look at some of the hardware that's going to be going on this bike. So we've got some red rotor bolts, red ferrules. These bolts will be for the brake levers. We got some cool red valves and a red RaceFace stem. I think it's going to tie the whole thing together really well. We're going to be running a coil shock on this bike as well. So let's go ahead, jump into this build. We're going to start things off with the headset install and the fork. Route some cables. Should be pretty smooth sailing, I hope, but let's get into this and see how it goes. Fork install is all wrapped up now. We got the Super Z 170mm travel 29er. We got that red RaceFace stem looking good as well. The reason that this fork was not its factory length and already had the star nut installed is that I actually borrowed this fork to build up that Ari Temp Peak a handful of weeks ago. That was just a quick temporary build to do the release shoot for that bike, and they needed that bike back for sea otter. So I just borrowed this fork for that, which is why it was already kind of set up. And for the stem install, we're running 35mm of spacers. We got those RaceFace spacers all lined up looking sharp. We're running the RaceFace top cap, and for that top cap bolt or headset tension bolt, whatever you want to call it, I've been tossing Loctite on those for about a year now and having really good luck. I'm having no issues with my headset coming loose, so I'm just continuing to do that, and that is why I tossed some Loctite on that bolt.
She's the only one that I've been dreaming of. Maybe someday she will be all mine. I wanna tell her that I love her so. I thrill with her every touch. I need to tell her she's the only one I really love. I got a warm, warm ball all day. you all around. Looking for my sweet corner girl. I got a warm ball all day. I got a warm, she won't be true, no.
Progress is going well on the bike build. We've got the Bomber CR in the back, 450-pound spring. Typically I run the Bomber Air, so I'm stoked to be running the coil on this bike to change things up a bit. Then we've got the Super Z up front, as mentioned earlier. We've got the RaceFace Turbine R stem, 40 mil length, and we've got the Air Handlebar, 40 mil rise, 780 mil width. To touch briefly on my choices regarding that cockpit setup, so we got 40 mil length stem, which is my standard length, and then we've got the 40 mil rise bar and 35 mils of spacers underneath the stem. 35 mil of spacers underneath the stem is definitely pretty aggressive, but let me explain. For me, over the past 3-4 years or so, I have been on quite the journey in regards to finding the ideal bike fit. At first, this started with just trying to figure out the best reach, and then it moved to measuring out my RAD, which is rider area distance, and that is your distance from about your spindle, and then you take a shoelace and put it between your grips, and you measure that length of, I guess if you were to think about it, kind of like the hypotenuse between your reach and your stack. So that's measuring your RAD, and then you can measure the angle of that to get an even further idea of the bike fit. So I'll make a whole video about this at some point going really deep. But anyways, the reason I'm mentioning all of this is I made an entire spreadsheet of all of the reaches and stacks as well as my cockpit setup, and then the subsequent rider area distance and the angle for every bike I've had over the last 2 years, and written down my thoughts on the fit of all of these. It's a bit ridiculous, but this is the type of stuff that I do and the lengths I like to go to try to optimize my bike setup. So with this all being said, another part of this spreadsheet that I've made that I found interesting is I divided the stack by the reach to get a ratio, to get an idea of how upright the bike's gonna feel. So for instance, this bike has a ratio of 1.32, so that's the 615.9 stack divided by the 465.7 reach to get that. And then I have found, through writing down all these thoughts of which bikes that I prefer the feel of, the more upright the cockpit setup is, so the higher the front end, typically the better I feel. It's just a more downhill oriented position, and I mostly ride my downhill bike, so it makes me feel quite a bit more comfortable. So for instance, my downhill bike has a stack of 641 and a reach of 440, which gives me a ratio of 1.46. So that's a 1.46 ratio as compared to the 1.32 ratio of this bike. And then for the angle of my RAD on my downhill bike is 64 degrees. And on this bike, I don't know yet, but hypothetically, I'd assume it's gonna be around 61. Most trail bikes, depending on the cockpit setup, end up around 61 degrees. So all this is to say, I'm trying to go quite high on the front end of this bike. Ideally, the angle of my RAD is around 62, just to make this bike feel a bit more downhill oriented. But this is something that I'm just experimenting with and still learning about, but I just wanted to explain the cockpit setup and give you guys a bit of insight into the types of things that I do to optimize my bike fit that I don't always share on the channel, but I am doing behind the scenes.
I got a warm, stick drunk all the time.
This has been my latest tool upgrade. This is a part of a fishing rod holder that I've bent and modified the end of to grab cables for dropper posts.
No.
Would highly recommend.
No, that's not how it goes down.
My sweet Chiquita be the fruit of my eye, like Teddy Riley at the peak.
So we're making great progress through this build and everything is going really smoothly, mostly thanks to the really great internal cable routing on this bike. It's been an absolute breeze. And now I just wanted to talk quickly about where I've been getting some of my hardware from, such as this red rotor bolt here. So earlier this season, I did a collaboration for my Superior Peak build with Better Bolts, and they're probably the easiest people to order through. Really good quality product, and they know what they're talking about. Now, for me, with sourcing some other bits and pieces for various bike builds, I've just been ordering some stuff from Amazon, and then I've been doing some bulk orders directly through Alibaba, and I'll show you how I have some of that stuff organized. So here's a look at the hardware cabinet that I have been working on. Starting on the upper left, these are suspension bits, so we have different bushing, some extra bits of hardware, stuff like that. And then this is the biggest box, and this is all the standard steel hardware. So we have M5 by 18, M6 by 30. This is for like a top cap. These are for stems. So we've got these in steel, silver, and black. We got some barb and olives, some other various pieces. And then these two little containers are the more exciting options. So this is where all of the titanium and stainless steel bits are. So we have all sorts of colorful things. This is extra hardware for the Aris. They all use the same shock hardware. I believe most of the bikes do, so that's really nice to have. And then same stem bolts. This is tie, this is stainless, and some other pieces. These are some rotor bolts. We got some other gold ones. This came with some of the bolts I ordered. This is a little bolt measuring guide, which is really handy to have. Might seem silly, but it's been nice. And then over here, we have some more titanium. Just gotta flip it around. This one's pretty empty because I've used most of the stuff I ordered, but yeah, so I've just been working on filling out this cabinet, and I've used most of the stuff I've ordered and tested, and I've made another spreadsheet kind of outlining all the different bolts I need, and I plan on doing a bulk order of a bunch of different colors down the line, but just another little thing that I've been working on.
We get the beach and put a feet in the tide. I don't wanna be guy, I'm just one of the guys. My candy apple, won't you save me a slice? I made the truth with your parents, I won you 2 teddy bears and got you home before the strobe lights. Now run along, won't you? There's nothing wrong with you. My baby Stacy put the blue in the vibe. She changed the mood of the town. I play the music she likes, and when you groove, it gets the room right. It keeps the fellas aroused, it keeps the ladies enticed. Wouldn't you know that I'm the only one?
And now we almost have a complete bicycle. I just wrapped up a bunch of small details, such as installing the included frame hardware from Ari, which looks really, really good. And then I tossed mastic tape in a few places, which is just a rubbery tape that's good for making sure your bike is making no sounds whatsoever. A few key places where I put the mastic tape are just underneath the chainstay here, which is not a necessary thing to do, but just a nice small little detail. And I put it underneath the Shimano finned pads to make sure that those don't come in contact with the caliper and make any sounds. So now that we've almost got this bike complete, let's toss some cranks on this thing, toss on some wheels, and we're gonna have a good looking bicycle.
I wouldn't call it divine, I'm enjoying the ride. Though you're nothing but a low life. I get along with you wrong or right. Say, I get along with you, whether wrong or right. I get along with you, whether wrong or right. My lady Debbie got the shape of a pear. She threw the cake on my lap and told me take what I can. She separated, but the breaker was bad. So every time that we smash, I catch the guilt from the past. Like Sandra Bullock at the peak of the 90s. You know my speed wasn't fast, I was busting on dash. I couldn't keep her, but I keep her in mind. I have to holler when my money's right. My sweetie Vicky always giving me grief. She said I love her to leave. I said I know what you mean. My tender rolling, no, I have I throw a slab on the pan and watch it puff on the grease. I said I am what I am, I feel the tension increase. You say I'm just like my dad, I can't disagree. It's just the simplest things, like a dog on a leash. I get along with you, as long as you don't bite me. Whether wrong or right, I get along with you. Whether wrong or right, hey, I get along with you. Whether wrong or right, I get along with you. Whether wrong or right.
Hello? Yeah. That shit is hot right there.
And there we have it. The La Sal is all together. That was definitely the smoothest bike build I've done in a long time, which I am super thankful for. Really happy with how this build came together. I said it earlier in the video, and I'll say it again, really stoked on the colorway of this frame, and I think it looks really nice with some of the red accents scattered throughout the build. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next week for another upload. Peace.